Welcome to Al's Airguns. In this episode, we are doing a shootout between the Daisy Model 25 pump action BB gun and the Daisy Red Ryder. Both very popular BB guns from Daisy. Both of them have been sold by the thousands, if not into millions. The Model 25 was in production from 1914 to 1979, took a brief hiatus, was reintroduced in 2009, and is still being manufactured today. Red Ryder came about in around 1940. This particular one is the Christmas Wish edition. You can tell that by the working compass and sundial in the stock. This one has also been fitted with a lasso optic mount and a Faiachi electronic dot sight. Reason I did that was this particular setup does come with iron sights. Rear is adjustable for elevation, but not windage. And the front sight on this is simply a black plastic ramp and blade. Now I did go ahead and paint the blade up here with a little bit of white nail polish. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not, but it did make it easier to see, particularly against a black bullseye for target shooting. But there's no windage adjustment, no left to right adjustment in either of the sights on the Red Ryder, and mine was hitting pretty far to the left. So I really needed some kind of adjustable sight. Went ahead and mounted the lasso mount from Airguns and put on a dot sight that let me adjust it so that it shoots to point of aim. So that was one kind of shortcoming from the factory. The Red Ryder is 35 inches long and said to weigh 2.2 pounds. This particular example was a little bit lighter than that when I got it. On the other hand, the Model 25 is 37 inches long, and this unit weighs over 3 pounds. I believe it's about 3 pounds and 6 ounces, if memory serves. And it too comes with iron sights. However, its rear sight is adjustable for both elevation and windage. In addition to that, it offers both a buckhorn style notch sight in the rear, and you can change that just by pushing down and flip up a peep sight. Now, I didn't have enough light in my indoor range to really take advantage of the peep sight, which I find more accurate for me. I was shooting with the notch sight in the rear. Has a basic post in the front. On this one, it too comes painted black, but I removed the paint so that it's just silver metal, and I find I can pick that up a little bit easier. You'll see what happens in the shooting comparison, and we'll talk about why that is in the end, or why I think we got the results that we did. Now, between these two particular guns, the Red Ryder has been shot a good deal more, and it ended up turning in higher velocity. Its average was 310 feet per second over 5 shots. However, it was not shooting quite that fast out of the box. Velocity improved after having put a number of rounds through it. The Model 25, on the other hand, is shooting, 290, what was it? Let me look. We were 295.8 feet per second with the Model 25. However, this rifle does not nearly have the number of BBs through it, and I noticed the feet per second, the velocity has been creeping upwards. It was more like 285 when I got it out of the box, and I saw that kind of a migration on the Red Ryder too. So I don't know that the 295.8, 296 feet per second is where it's going to stop. I think we'll continue to see a subtle improvement. Neither of these guns is going to end up shooting over 350 feet per second without some kind of an upgrade, like an increased spring. I know Daisy rates it at velocities of up to 350 feet per second, but frankly, that's very optimistic. as I said, the Red Ryder did turn in 310 feet per second for an average, which translates to 1.09 foot-pounds muzzle energy, whereas the 295.8 of the Model 25 translates to 0.99 foot-pounds of energy. Ultimately, I think it'll break 1 foot-pound. None of these Daisy BB guns are powerhouses, so both are very similar. We're talking minor differences there. That does turn into 1.34 joules for the Model 25 and 1.49 joules of muzzle energy for the Red Ryder. Next thing we'll do is go ahead and take a look at the accuracy, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. Okay, we've got a fresh target up there, and this time we're going to take 10 shots with our Daisy Red Ryder. Now, I do have a electronic dot sight on there, which does give the Red Ryder a little bit of an advantage. Let's go ahead and see how it compares. Red Ryder's got a few that have broken the red of the bullseye, but we have one in the 8 ring, one in the 9. Those broke the 10, so we will say we've gotten an 8 and a 9 for 17, and then the rest are all in the 10 ring, so that would be 80. So 97 points. Not given any extra for the red. 97 with the Daisy Red Ryder. Okay, we are going to take 10 shots from 21 feet with the Daisy Model 25. Okay, that was 10. Let's take a look and see how we did. Okay, not bad at all. Let's go ahead and move that up a bit. All right, looks like all 10 of them are in the 10 ring, and it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the shots that have actually broken the edge of the bullseye there. Very cool. Hey, let's go ahead and compare that, do some compare. Like I say, looks like all of our 10 shots, well, we got 1 in the 9. Other than that, all are in the 10. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that have broken the red of the bullseye. So 1 in the 9, 9 shots in the 10 ring, with 4 of those having broken the edge of the red bullseye. All right, why did we see the differences in accuracy that we did? You'll know, going into it, I really expected the Red Ryder to outshoot the Model 25, and that was primarily because of how much better I shoot it with the electronic sight. I've got old eyes, the dot sight works well, and the dot sight has been dialed in to shoot close, almost right to the point of aim. Basically, I had more shots outside of the 10 ring with the Red Ryder than I did with the Model 25. What I attribute that to, the Model 25, even though the sights were not as good as an electronic sight there, the Model 25 is a heavier gun, and it's also quite muzzle heavy. The weight's up here. So I don't know, when I pull the trigger, I don't find myself pulling the gun off target. Whereas the the Red Ryder for me will sometimes, I'll get flyers, and sometimes while I'm executing my trigger pull, I will pull the targets or the sights off target slightly. And I think that really is the difference between the two. Obviously a Model 25 has a longer sight radius, but to me the dot sight on the Red Ryder really negates that advantage. So I think it was really the additional weight and the fact that it's slightly more muzzle heavy, the balance, if you will. I think that gives it better practical accuracy. I don't think the inherent or intrinsic accuracy is that much difference between the two guns. Conclusion, they're both excellent BB guns. You will have a lot of fun. I've not tried the competitors. I understand that Umarex has brought out the Marlin, and I think there are some similar BB guns now on the market. I haven't tried them yet, haven't had the pleasure, but I can tell you the existing Daisy products with the wood and steel manufacture, yeah, they've got a plastic trigger, but I don't think that's really a disadvantage. Actually, the plastic triggers are better shaped than the old metal triggers were, in my opinion, which were just folded sheet metal. So I like the trigger on these, and they're well protected, so it's not like they're going to get knocked around and break or anything. I find both of these a great value. The Model 25 is more expensive. These will run you anywhere from $58 to $65 in US in most of our stores here. The Red Ryder can be found for less money. I actually purchased this Christmas Wish Edition Red Ryder at one of the local Walmarts for $35. So, not a lot of money for these air guns. Definitely very budget friendly. Well, that being said, I think we pretty much wrap up the comparison between the Daisy Red Ryder and the Daisy Model 25. Of course, the one thing I haven't mentioned is capacity and feeding. The Model 25 is a spring-loaded magazine. It does have forced feed and a 50-shot capacity. The good news is you don't get misfires with that, whereas the Red Ryder is a traditional gravity feed and what we call the old rattle trap. And sometimes you don't get a BB, and that too can affect your accuracy. It's tough when you really hold everything right. You execute a good trigger pull, your breath is good, and no BB comes out. You cock it again, maybe next one you don't shoot as well. So, I really like the fact that every time you load it, the Model 25 fires a BB. With the old rattle traps, the gravity feed, they're not 100% consistent. Hey, thanks a lot for sticking with me to the end. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Take care and safe shooting.